make the connection between how they talk in these sessions, between what they do in the classroom. Any questions at this point? And I don't know if we want to talk about the access stuff. Yeah, so just some goals for in analyzing these video commentaries. So we'd like a framework that sort of can cross over. We can use to analyze the video commentary data and also potentially the in-class observation data. Can we analyze in the same way, which will simplify the task of comparing or looking for consistencies in beliefs across these methods. And once we've got there, we'd like to connect beliefs to practice. And so the simple thing it seemed would be, well, here's what they say they do, and here's what we see them do, and do they match up? Well, the picture is really more complicated than that, and as we already talked about, there may be factors that affect what they actually do in the classroom, and we might see more of this when I get to the example for you guys. But the real story, people may know that this is good practice, but there may be a constraint or something that goes on in the recitation section that gets in the way or hinders their ability to do this. So it's a more complicated picture than practice versus preach, I guess is what I'm saying. But overall, we're looking for alignment or consistency between these stated and enacted beliefs, and what teachers do in the classroom and how it relates to how they talk about how other instructors teach. And this is looking further ahead, but based on the outcome, we have a framework and we can find consistency between these types of beliefs. Maybe this is a way to go, kind of sort of circumvent the work that's involved with in-class observations. If we have another method of enlisting these beliefs that takes less time and informs us just as much and shows consistency with in-class beliefs, maybe this is a way we can stand in for having to observe week after week with these instructors. So let's get right down to it here. What I'm showing here are two videos that I used with these TAs and LAs. And where we got them is from University of Maryland. It's part of a professional development for TACD that they distribute. And we were looking for a way to sort of have a prompt for TAs and LAs in these interviews. We struck on the idea of, why don't we show them a clip and have them talk about it. So there's about 8 weeks of their tutorial section using the University of Maryland tutorials. And so what I tried to find is, we wanted 2 clips for comparison. That means they had to be short. These clips are neither of them is more than 2 minutes each. And you can tell from the stills here that we have the same group of students. This is on the same tutorial, and we've got different TAs interacting with the students. And just as a very broad characterization of each, I've got a quiet TA who allows the students to do more discussion among themselves, and a talkative TA who does more direct explaining to the students. So the reasoning behind this is I was hoping it would serve as a better mode of comparison. TAs and LAs might identify more with one or the other. It might allow them to externalize more of that. I noticed this, or think back to the first clip that they watch and make connections there, just to allow for more, allow them to say more, I guess. I will actually show, I showed one of these clips last fall, but let me replay this one so you get an idea of what the instructors are actually watching.
Okay, so an object acted on by another object changes its velocity according to the rule A equals F net. Okay.
So his acceleration is 0. So that means force has to be
So it's equal.
So I guess they do have a second acceleration.
He has no acceleration.
Are different.
So what's going on? Let me get it.
Well, are we talking about like the time, like from when he goes to rest, from rest to movement, or just when he's moving?
This question, the next question is gonna be what happens to go from rest to movement. This one only applies to when he's moving. But your reasoning, if you're asking that question, is probably on the right track. But this is a good one where he's just moving.
But either way, wouldn't the accelerations be the same?
No, when you're moving at a constant rate, you're not accelerating.
Yeah, but like say if he's from rest and then he moves, the rope's gonna be at rest and then it's gonna start.
But the accelerations of him are different.
No, I'm saying they're the same.
I don't think, I don't think.
Right.
Yeah, they're the same.
Yeah. Done. Yeah.
So it really wouldn't make a difference if he's starting from rest or if he's moving.
Yeah. Well, because if
From
he's
rest, he's
moving,
accelerating.
right, when he's moving, the acceleration is just constant. Because he's moving.
Yeah.
Right.
But say when he's sitting and then he starts, that's
Right.
like the acceleration.
Right.
But the rope when he's just sitting there, say it's like a machine that twirls a rope around, that'll be stopped and then it's gonna move too, so its change should be like proportional.
Yeah, I think
Or am I just
they're the same.
Yeah. So either way, like the force. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
So
That was quiet.
it was, relatively, these are very relative terms, of course. The clip does cut off, and I've actually integrated that as a prompt to say what would you do at the end of this clip. Do you want to see the other clip, or should we move on? Yeah, question.
Well, I guess I'm interested in the other clip because quiet and talkative doesn't seem to be the right descriptors to me if I get what you described. This guy's letting them think it through, whereas the other guy is maybe gonna tell them what to think.
Yeah, it doesn't,
And that's a
to
huge-
maybe doesn't say
that's
the
a-
whole picture, so why don't I,
Yeah,
maybe
'cause that's a huge pedagogical difference.
Right.
and I should
And
add.
you don't introduce these as quiet or talkative to the
No,
students.
these are just pet names for me, so I let them make that distinction, whether each is good or bad. So let's just take, this one's short. So.
It probably doesn't make sense. Right,
Just tell me what you're thinking of this 5. This is where we tie everything together.
You said that if both the forces are equal, the child would maintain the velocity that he was going.
Right. And to give him that velocity to maintain, though,
Like if he goes
The
from
force
rest
has-
to motion, then he needs that acceleration.
yeah. So it's like a 2-step process. There's getting it started, and then the forces can balance, and it'll just keep going. Good. That makes sense to me.
So at first, the forces aren't equal, but then they
Right.
Yeah. I mean, it's sort of the intuition that if the forces are equal, how can it even go anywhere? That was true. If the forces really were equal right from the beginning, it never would have gotten started. But like when you're lifting something like the back of the grocery, you might not even notice it until you start to. That when you first start pulling, you're pulling a little harder than when you keep going. Like once you think of it, that's
Yeah, that's the part that's tough because you just think of the rope pulling the same amount each time.
Right.
and technically,
because that
when
beginning
you're doing
is
everything-
just like a quarter of a second or something. It's easy to.
So those are the two clips.
When are these in comparison to each other?
Sorry?
It's the same group, but when does quiet TA interact and when it's
Oh,
talkative?
when do they take place
Yeah.
relative to one another? I believe quiet TA happens first.
Like in one 50-minute period?
They are during the same period. I don't know how long it is between the clips.
We're in the same
Boy, they
place.
bother the heck out of these kids.
I mean, it's. I would say it's got to be less than 10 minutes for certain because I have a printout of this, the Maryland tutorial that they do, and the question, they're almost sequential questions. So
Huh?
not a lot of time is